All right, let's talk about a superpower. Seriously, it's the ability to share what you know with total, absolute clarity. I mean, whether you're trying to lead a team, teach a class, or maybe just get your friends excited about a project you love, mastering this art of informing, well, that's how you really make an impact. Okay, be honest. Haven't we all been there? You're sitting in a meeting or maybe a lecture, and you just feel this fog of confusion rolling in. You walk out of the room actually knowing less than you did before. It's a complete communication meltdown. Well, today, we're going to flip that script. We're going to arm you with the tools to be the exact opposite of that, to be clear, compelling, and yeah, unforgettable. So let's get right to the heart of it. What is our goal? What's our true north when we're trying to inform someone? It's not about winning an argument or persuading anybody. It's about being a guide, a generous one. Your one and only job is to lift your audience up, to grow their knowledge, deepen their understanding, or even sharpen their skills. That's it. Now, to get really good at informing, you first have to draw a big, bright line in the sand. I think the biggest trap people fall into is accidentally blurring the line between informing and persuading. Getting your goals straight right from the beginning, honestly, it's the single most important thing you can do to set yourself up for success. So how do you tell the difference? Well, the source material gives us these 4 really useful lenses to look through. We're talking about how controversial a topic is, what kind of response you're looking for, the type of evidence you need to bring, and even the kind of credibility you have to build. All of these things shift, and they shift in a big way, depending on whether your goal is to teach or to convince. And this really gets right to the core of it. Informative speaking is all about building a bridge of understanding, right? It's usually for topics that aren't super controversial. Persuasion, on the other hand, that's about moving mountains. You're trying to change what people believe or get them to take action, and that often means you're wading right into controversial territory. So just remember this, you're aiming for clarity, not conversion. Okay, so now we know what our purpose is. Let's get into the process, the fun part. This is basically your how-to guide. Think of it as your essential toolkit for putting together an informative presentation that actually connects and makes sense to your audience. Rule number 1, and it might just be the most important. It's never a monologue, it's always a dialogue. Before you even share a single fact, you have to answer the question that everyone in your audience is silently asking. Why should I care? You've got to build that connection. Tie your topic to their world, show them why it matters, and prove that you're a guide they can trust right from the very beginning. You know the saying, a confused mind always says no? Well, it's true. If your audience can't follow your train of thought, you've lost them. It's that simple. So a rock-solid structure is completely non-negotiable. Kick things off with a super clear thesis, just one sentence that frames your whole talk. And then build your points out from there, one logical step at a time. You're basically creating a clear path for them to walk on. Look, having great information is totally useless if nobody remembers it 5 minutes later. This rule is all about making your message stick. And the secret? You have to be a ruthless editor. Seriously. Limit the info, start with something they already know, and then lead them to the new stuff. Repeat your main ideas, highlight what's absolutely essential, and use everything you've got, visuals, stories, you name it, to make it memorable. And that brings us to our last rule for the how-to part. Get them involved. Don't let your audience just sit there like passive spectators. You want to turn them into active participants. You could take a quick poll, ask a challenging question they can think about, or just connect to an experience you all share. The goal is to turn listening from a solo activity into something you're doing together. So, you've connected with them, you've got a great structure, you've designed it so they'll remember, and you've even got them involved. What's the big payoff for all that work? Well, it's all about building rock-solid credibility and making a real impact. This is where you stop being just a speaker and become a trusted, go-to source of information. I love this visual. It's just the perfect metaphor, right? Think of all the information in the entire world as this giant warehouse. An ineffective speaker just backs up a truck and dumps everything onto the floor. But a great speaker, a credible speaker, they act like an expert curator. They carefully go through, select, and present only the best stuff, the ideas that are high quality, relevant, and truly valuable. And that whole idea of being a curator, it leads us right to the absolute foundation of your impact, ethics. Think of this checklist as your final quality control. Before any piece of info leaves your warehouse, you just have to ask yourself, is there enough of it? Is it accurate? Is it actually relevant? Is it up to date? And maybe most importantly, is it free of bias? Your credibility is built on getting a yes to every single one of these questions. So, as we wrap things up here, I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. We've talked about connecting with your audience, structuring for clarity, designing for memory, and building credibility. The art of informing, it isn't just theory, right? It's a bunch of practical tools you can start using right away. So the real question is, which one are you going to put into practice first?